This is the legend of Pickville Heavy Industries, the ongoing record of a company that refuses to stay in one timeline. I'm Pickfire, and Cuppertine's brought me another stack of files I don't remember creating. The desert's humming again, the archives are shifting, and PHI is ready to show us something new. Let's get into it. Previously on the legend of Pickville Heavy Industries, Cuppertine kept handing me pieces of my own history, inventions, companies, and timelines I don't remember living through. The unclear reactor turned out to be a time machine built from an algorithm born out of the Legends Football League. We ran through the early PHI ecosystem, Tempe Translation Services, Statheads Anonymous, Nickel and Dime Contractors, Tempe Temporal, the Cactus Growers, the Salt River Royal Grand Luxury Cruise Lines International, and Pickville Pets. What could possibly be next? Episode Yes Sheesh. By this point in the story, Exo Cuppertine had started letting me hear some of the archival material from across the PHI portfolio. Ads, spotlights, corporate reads, the stuff that usually lives in a vault until someone needs a tax write-off or a museum exhibit. Now I've come to understand that these are my companies. I built them. I guess I know their voices, their branding, their quirks, but hearing recordings of my voice, clean, confident, fully produced, reading copy I don't remember writing for campaigns I don't remember approving, that hits different. It's one thing to forget a meeting. It's another to hear yourself pitching a service you supposedly founded in a tone you don't recall ever using. So today I want to share some of those pieces. A series of reads for Tempe Dead Language Translation Services, a division I absolutely own, but apparently have been doing work for a lot longer than I realized. Here's what they had me saying. At Tempe Dead Language Translation Services, we pride ourselves on precision, professionalism, and unparalleled expertise. Our team of scholars works tirelessly to ensure that your message is conveyed with accuracy, whether in Latin, Sumerian, or Old Norse. Because communication is the cornerstone of civilization, even if no one else alive can understand it. Tempe Dead Language Translation, bridging the gap between yesterday's silence and today's confusion. Ukimya wa jana na mkanganyiko wa leo. And here's another one, which I have no memory of. But Dale tells me this actually ran on KSTM, The Storm, back in the mid-'80s. My voice was very busy in that decade. Most translation services help you order coffee in Paris or find the bathroom in Tokyo. Not here. Tempe Dead Language Translation specializes in translating one dead language into another dead language. Because why settle for being misunderstood in one extinct tongue when you can double your confusion in two? Tempe Dead Language Translation Services, making the past even harder to understand, one word at a time. Shigaba. And then there was this one. It sounds like something that would have aired between segments on KAET, a sponsor message for a history program nobody quite remembers anymore. But the tape survived anyway. Tempe has always been a place where stories flow, from Hayden's Ferry to Town Lake. And now, thanks to Tempe Dead Language Translation Services, and people like you, even the stories no one's spoken in centuries can keep flowing. Latin to Sumerian, hieroglyphics to Old Norse. They've got you covered. Tempe Dead Language Translation, keeping history alive, one baffling phrase at a time. Eich rathvilt, orth isen. Lastly, he sprung this one on me and said it was me sponsoring my own podcast. Not only did I barely know what a podcast was, I didn't know I was destined to create one. This episode of Pickfire Said What is powered by Tempe Dead Language Translation. When modern words just won't do, they'll take you from Latin to Sumerian faster than you can say Rosetta Stone replica. Tempe Dead Language Translation, because some languages deserved better. Quia quaedam linguae melios meritae sunt. I just sat there for a minute or two after that one. Hearing my own voice selling a show I hadn't even invented yet? That's when it really hit me. Something in this timeline wasn't adding up. Or maybe it was adding up too well. And I mean, what do you even do with that? Part of me wanted to laugh, and part of me wanted to check myself into a clinic. But Cuppertine just nodded like this was all perfectly normal. And maybe in PHI, it was. So I took a breath, tried to center myself, tried to remember that I was the one who built these companies, these divisions, these voices. But hearing them all at once, across decades, across languages, it felt less like a portfolio review and more like someone showing me a life I hadn't lived yet. So that's episode 6. A handful of ads from a life I don't recall, a timeline that refuses to stay put, and a company that keeps speaking in voices I apparently recorded. Cuppertine goes back to pretending this is all normal, and I go back to wondering how many versions of me are out there doing work I don't remember. We'll follow the next thread when we come back for episode 7. Stay heavy, man.